Hey guys, so tonight I am going to show you how to make a lattice book. So with this binding we have these delicate crisscrosses with a line going down the middle. It does seem kind of daunting, but once you get the hang of it, it's really not that bad. In the inside we see that the binding is like a straight line and is consistent through each one of the signatures. So we need 5 signatures with this book, as I had said before. Each one of these sheets of paper are about 5.5 by 4 1/4. That's just a quarter of 11.5. They're 11 by 8.5 sheet of paper. Then with what we're going to be using as our spine, you want that probably about 1/2 inch or bigger than your piece of paper, so you have a 1/4 inch of room on the spine there to be able to cover your pages and protect them and everything. So what we're going to do is we're going to start marking that. We're going to mark that 1/4 inch first, just to make sure that we don't really do anything else with that, and we count that into the rest of our measuring for the book. There we go. We got the 2 1/4 inch marks there, and to mark each one of our signature marks, I'm going to do about 3/4 of an inch. So we're going to mark that all the way down. Okay, so now we've got each one of our sections marked off. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark off probably about 1/4 inch for each one of the signatures. So there will be about a 1/4 inch of room in between each one. Okay, now that we've finished making the marks, we're going to take our awl and we're just going to puncture each one of these marks. Alright, now we'll just check to make sure that the puncture goes all the way through. Now we're going to make the same marks on our signature. We're going to measure them out, again, 3/4 of an inch between each one. And remember that the top ones, the very top and very bottom row of holes that we made that we really shouldn't have because I can't remember things, we're going to skip those and just mark every 3/4 of an inch. Then we're going to puncture those with our awl. We're going to do that to all 5 signatures, not just the one, just so that we don't have to keep stopping and puncturing again. So we're going to just puncture each one of these. Okay, so the way I like to start out is with the second row of holes, because that's going to be our straight lines. For this part where we're just doing the straight lines, we only need like 1 or 2 wraparounds of string. You don't need a lot for this part because we're not using a ton of string. We're only going through the holes once. So we're going to line those up. Remember, ignore those first holes that we made because we do not need those. So again, go for the second hole on the second column, or row rather. And we're just going to pull that through. Make sure it's all lined up all pretty so it doesn't give you trouble later. Alright, pull that all through. Make sure you leave a bit of a tail. And then we're going to go back in through that next hole down. So just kind of like one singular line there, okay? Then we're going to go back out through the spine. Okay. Then we're going to loop under that very first line. And we're just going to pull that through. Yep, don't tangle your spine in that. You're going to pull that through, so now you're going to make a loop and go back in the hole that you originally came out of. And you got a nice little loop there going from that, and then just move down to the next hole, And we're just going to repeat the exact same thing. So go down the next hole. If I can find the hole. Okay, pull that through. Loop it under both of those strings, not just the first one. We're going to loop it through both of those strings. Not the spine. Okay. Alright, and then again we're just going to go back down through that hole that we originally came through. Right, and just keep repeating that through the entire thing here. Alright, so now we've completed our very first one. So that tail that we originally started off with, we're going to loop it under that first one that we have in the spine there. We're going to make a knot in there. I like to try to make my knot as close to the holes as possible, so if we need to be able to hide it, we can just tuck it right into that hole there. Here, we can just do a quick snip to get rid of the ends there, because we don't need those anymore. Alright, now we've completed our very first binding on this book. Now this is where it starts to get tricky, because we are using two different signatures at the exact same time. So you're going to need signatures 1 and 3 rather than signature 2. As for the amount of string that we need 1, 2, 3, 4-ish. Yeah, like 4 lengths of string. It does leave you a little short, so maybe do 5. Alright, now we're going to start with signature 1. I'm going to go in through the spine there. I'm going to come out. Make sure you leave yourself the tail again. Now this is where it gets different. On signature 3, you're going to go down through the second hole. Remember, the second hole, not the first. And then just like in the previous stitch, we're just going to go down 1. So we're going out and we're going to come out through the spine. Again, this is where it gets a little tricky. So once you pull that through, we're going to go back to signature 1. Try not to lose that because I'm really good at losing that piece of paper. So go through the second one, the second hole in signature 1. And we're going to pull that through. So we should have 2 diagonal lines that are going the exact same direction. If you have it in the wrong direction, like the opposite direction, then we may have flubbed up a little. So again, we're just going to move down 1 hole, go out and through, and from there we're going to move down 1 on the opposite side for signature 3. Stick that through there, move down 1, and then across and up 1. Okay. And then we're just going to keep continuing exactly what we did before, the down 1, across, over, down. Okay, so now you should have 5 lines all going the exact same way. So now we're going to go the opposite way, and we're going to go up 1. So like previously before we were going down 1, you're going up 1, and we're going to go across to that very last hole on the first signature. And that completes our first X. And just right here, it kind of spells it out for you where you don't have thread. Just make sure there's thread there. So you're going to go up one and then go across one. Here's where it should get a little easier for you because it's more spelled out like where you need to be putting your needle. Because as I showed you in the very beginning, these middle parts, it's going to be one straight line. So you're going to go up one again, get through there. If you have trouble finding a hole, don't be afraid to move your paper so you can kind of see where your needle's going. Just try not to damage the integrity of your signature. Let's see. It can be a little difficult, especially since there's already a string in there. Your needle's going to want to pierce that string, and you want to try not to do that in case you want to be able to tighten your stitches later. Okay, we'll go back through there. And again, we're just figuring out where there isn't thread and putting it there. I'm going to go up and across. And back in. And we're going to find ourselves exactly where we began. What we're going to do is we're going to take that string and then we're just going to tie those two ends together. So then it makes a little bit of a loop like it did before. And then we have our first set of crisscrosses. And we're going to do the exact same thing on the opposite side. So for the fourth hole, we're going to copy exactly what we did the first time. And we're going to make the little loops. So the fifth signature, you actually work with signatures 5 and 3. So again, you're going to need about 5 loops of thread. Alright, and we're going to start this exactly the same way that we started the last crisscross. We're going to go in through the spine, come out, and then we're going to go diagonal and towards the third signature. So right there. But you want to make sure you get it in the signature. I am really good at missing the paper altogether. So it just takes a little readjusting, a little repoking around. And this is where it gets a little hairy if you're not paying attention. Oops. I pulled it right through, so I'm actually just going to take another needle I have, thread it through on that end, and just rethread it through my first signature there. We're going to go down and across again, but you're going to go across and up one, just like the way we started the very first crisscross. Just try to keep a hold on your signature so they're not flying around and you don't have to keep reinserting the tail. I learned that one the hard way the first time I made this book. I lost the signature like 4 times because I was not holding onto it. But again, we're just going to go down one, and then across, down one, across, and then we're going to go up one and across. Once you get the hang of it, it's super easy, and it becomes mind-numbing. Yeah, sometimes when you get a little bit of a snag, you definitely went through the thread that you already had going there. You see how it's kind of pulled out there a little bit? I definitely pulled some of the other thread through with it. Considering this is a demo, I'm not entirely concerned. And see, now you have all of the ones diagonal. You're going to go back and go the opposite way diagonally. So instead of going down one, you're going to go up one. Or instead of going up one, you're going to go down one. Again, the most confusing part is when you're in signature 3 where you already have the lines, but you should be able to see where you don't have a double line yet. Alright, and here again we find ourselves at the end. We're just gonna do exactly what we did the last time and tie the two ends together. Alright, and that's your complete lattice binding book. You know, as long as everything's all crissy-crossy and the insides are a straight line, then we did it right. Hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Bye!